Welcome to the channel. It's Almighty Den, and I'm back again. And tomorrow we get our gameplay first look of College Football 25. On Tuesday we get the College Ultimate Team reveal. On Wednesday we get the launch roster reveal, and on Thursday we get the Road to Glory reveal. So y'all be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, because I will be dropping videos, strategizing, and helping y'all out with this game and showing y'all a thing or two. Now the first thing I want to do is let y'all know I plan on strategizing on this game before it comes out. With that being said, I canceled my original pre-order of the standard edition, and I went ahead and pre-ordered the deluxe edition so I can play the game 3 days early. Now, also, if you have EA Play, you'll also be able to play the game early as well for about 10 hours. And if you have Game Pass Ultimate, that comes with EA Play. Me, I'm a Game Pass Ultimate user, so I already have access to that, but I went ahead and got the deluxe anyways. Now, before we get into the strategy, most of us are going to play this game one of three ways. We're going to either A, pick our favorite team, B, pick a subpar team or a smaller school so we can grind the dynasty out from the bottom, or C, we're going to use Team Builder and create a team. Now, I do plan on doing all three of these, but one of the first things you want to consider when you're picking a dynasty is, do you want to start off being a head coach or an offensive coordinator? And in addition, of course, you can choose to be a defensive coordinator as well. Now, the easiest approach of this all is to just start off as a head coach if that's the approach you want to take, which is the approach that I'm going to take as well for at least one of my dynasties. Of course, I'm going to have multiple. Now, if you want to start off as a coordinator at a smaller school, that will be the ultimate dynasty grind, from grinding from the bottom as a coordinator to try to become a head coach at a championship top 25 contending school. Because not only will you have to go to head coach at a smaller school before you move up, you may have to go back to coordinator at a bigger school before you could get an opportunity to become a head coach at a big school. And even though you're at a head coach at a bigger school, maybe they're not necessarily a championship contender yet, and you still have some grinding to do, so you get maybe one of those top 25 contending championship contending opportunities as a head coach. So that would be a very massive grind for us right there. Now, no matter what you decide, because this all can be customized to the experience that you want to have, these are your three backstories for the archetypes you're going to be making your coach or your coordinator or your staff. The motivator is going to be able to help develop the talent on your team. The recruiter is going to be able to help you bring in talent, and the tactician is going to boost your players' ratings on game day and help you scheme up big plays on the field. Now, me personally, I'm leaning towards tactician. I want to be a head coach that can scheme up the plays, run the offense, call some plays on defense, and I plan on having a motivator and a recruiter as an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. Now, understand, this is just the base backstory. There are 11 different archetypes and player abilities which you will be able to select from and improve. Now, if you are a head coach, you can upgrade your player abilities, but you cannot upgrade your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator abilities. That will be done automatically. And if you're an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, you can adjust your abilities however you see fit, but you won't be able to upgrade any of your other coaching staff's abilities as well. Now, as you can see, you'll be able to see your coach abilities of your head coach, your offensive coordinator, and your defensive coordinator. But as a head coach, you want to choose a staff that has the abilities that align with what you need and how you want to play the game and how you want to actually develop the team. So like I said, me personally, I see myself being a tactician as a head coach. Doesn't mean I won't add some other player capabilities or player abilities depending on what they have, because we haven't seen all of the abilities yet to know, like, okay, maybe when the game comes out, I may change my mind. Like, maybe motivator is the approach I want to take. But right now, based on what we do know, I am leaning towards tactician because that's the way I like to play personally. And you will still be able to have coaches on your staff that can have some of these abilities that will help you do things like recruit, develop talent, and scheme up offenses and defenses as well. Now, another major factor outside of scheme that you want to factor in when you're developing a coaching staff is the pipeline. Now, if you have a pipeline to Ohio or Michigan, that means you'll have an increased chance of getting players from those areas in those states. So, me personally, I would like to get coordinators and coaches with a pipeline from Florida and Texas. And this is where you may have to make some sacrifices. Maybe you pick a slightly lesser coach as far as coach grade goes. You see the D+ and the C up there for a pipeline that you don't have that maybe gives you the ability to bring in more talent, especially if they are a recruiter. If they have recruiting capabilities that you can grow and improve upon, as well as a strong pipeline to a school, to a place with a lot of talent, that will help you develop your dynasty team as well. Now, it's pretty clear that the better schools and the top 5 schools and top 10 schools are going to get the most talent because they're going to have championship aspirations, and that's a big factor for a lot of players coming in. They want to go to big schools, the brand exposure, and all those reasons. And I will share you a list of reasons that play when they come to your school as well, so that it's something you can factor in when you're selecting a team. And not only selecting a team, but maybe if you start off at a smaller school, you say, hey, I want to work my way up to this school, and you could have some factors as to why you may choose a certain top 25 ranked team. Now, for all my real Dynasty grinders out there who want to take a small school and move them up to a bigger conference like the Big 10, the Big 12, or the SEC, you can do that. You will be able to do that, and you can work your way up from the bottom and build a true dynasty without leaving your job or chasing other head coach jobs. But you can build your team from the bottom and move them up if that's the approach that you choose. And I do think that I will definitely take that approach for one of my teams. And I will let you know one of my teams by the end of this video that I'm going to start off with. So y'all just sit tight, relax, and enjoy the video while we strategize how we go take this approach for the game. Now, before you even select a team, these are some things you're going to want to consider before you even start a dynasty. Playing time. Are players going to become a starter? Playing style. What kind of scheme of offense and defense you're going to have? Is this team a championship contender? Program tradition. Is this a historic school? Do they win championships? Do they make the playoffs? Do they win bowl games? Campus lifestyle. Are you in Miami, Southern Cal, or the middle of nowhere? Stadium atmosphere. Is the stadiums tough to play? Are they lit on game day? Are the crowds going crazy? Pro potential. Do you have good potential to make it to the NFL? Brand exposure. Do you have good brand recognition for NIL opportunities, a chance to make money, and a chance to grow your brand as a player? Now, I know it's a video game, but you still have to factor in academic prestige, conference prestige. Are you in a strong conference? Coach prestige. How good is the coach? Coach stability. Is this coach going to be here 4 years while I'm here? Athletic facility. How are the training facilities? How are the gyms in proximity to home? As I can imagine, a lot of players would like to play for their hometown where they grew up at and had their family and friends be able to come to the game. So these are some of the factors you need to consider when you're making a dynasty team. Now, the good thing is you'll be able to see a grade for each of these categories and where you rank against other schools and the top schools. And another good thing is you will be able to improve some of them. Although campus lifestyle and academic prestige, you will not be able to change because you can't just turn some Midwestern school into like Miami, Florida, Texas, a lit, popular, fun city. A lot of players want to go to a lot of fun cities. Let's just be honest. Now, with all the information I've shared with you thus far, I decided that one of the first teams I'm going to start my dynasty with is Florida. Florida is one of my favorite football teams. They have been for a while. I like the Gators. They're in a unique position where I feel like they're not dominating in their conference. They're kind of like in the middle of the conference. I'd say the upper half for sure. But they haven't been making any college playoffs. They haven't been necessarily dominating the SEC, so I do feel like I do have a chance to build them up and make them better. Now, obviously, they're in the SEC, so it will be easier to attract talent with them being in Florida, so I will have the pipeline there. Now, I do understand there will be competition from Miami, Florida State, and the SEC as a whole, but that's one of the teams that I'm going to start off with. Now, of course, I am going to start a dynasty with the college that I went to school at, which is a smaller school as well, and we'll grind that out from the bottom. If you're sticking around, you'll be able to see me grind these dynasties out, and then I will have my various online dynasties. So if y'all online, if y'all on Xbox, y'all drop the teams y'all looking forward to playing with below, and if you in a dynasty, feel free to invite me and add me because I'll definitely join it, and I'm looking to run it up in this college football this year, man. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all leave a like, a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Dynasty out.